Okay, this will be an interesting one. It's kind of ironic in a way. It's made of plastic, but it's something that's it's a plastic model of something very precious. We'll just have a look. And it just reminded me. I'm just going to see how we're going to make this look. Oh, this photocopier is making terrible noises again. It's not only making the whistling noises, you can hear it. You can hear a knocking noise. You can hear the low-pitched squeak and the high-pitched squeak, and now you can hear a clicking sound. So that's not good, Konica. It's not good at all, you fucking idiots. Listen to it. Knock, knock. You know, it's making knock. Oh, fuck, Konica. It's a wonder this machine hasn't fucking fallen apart on me already. So over these fucking pigs. I just love money. Honestly, I've got no fucking respect. Konica Minolta just can't seem to earn my respect. They just can't. Honestly, they're so stupid. They're so fucking idiots. Just like any idiot that loves money. Oh man, it seems to be the days we have, the days of our lives. Yes, like the TV show, the days of our lives are very dreary because everyone loves money, and it might as well be a fucking episode of the days of our lives because everything's just so morbid on that show, and it's one of the shows that I don't know what's on the daytime TV viewing circuit now. I don't know whether they still have reruns of Days of Our Lives, but they have done that for many years or decades. I'm sure I've seen Days of Our Lives. So this is it, a frog. I'm talking about frogs now because this is what we were alluding to just when I started to open up this demo. So basically, these are not the plastic ones, of course, but the ones that are real frogs. Look like they're going to be endangered. I don't know enough about frogs, but something happened in my local area and I realised it, and this bag of plastic frogs reminded me of something. There's been a drought here in Australia, and basically it's really bad, and I just realised looking at my plastic frogs is that basically when it was raining, and it was raining more than it had for a long time, though not as much as it should, I did not hear any croaking frogs or anything like frogs. So I think that it's been dry for so long, it seems as if all the frogs have literally dried up. There's just nothing there. They're all dead. They've obviously not had enough water under the ground, or they have run out of water. And of course, they die. I'm disappointed because I didn't even notice it. I just remembered when I had my plastic frogs and I was probably about to open them or look at them, and there I thought, well, where were the frogs when we had that spell of rain just recently? That really is a concern. Now that looks quite interesting. Unfortunately, that little area there where the dock feeder is, it looks ugly. The frog's eyes are gone that colour. I think maybe we're going to leave it on the glass like that, and we're just going to horizontally enlarge it. But I think I'm going to leave the dock feeder open, but I'm just thinking the feet won't show up. They'll be too high off the glass. But now we're just going to run another one with the dock feeder in the upright position. And basically, yeah, we're just going to finish and then start. Okay, out it comes. Yeah, that looks good. Except his leg's been cut off, but I think, I'm wondering if we're going to move him around a bit so his foot doesn't get cut off too much. I don't know if this is going to look any good. We'll soon find out. But there's a cute little frog. Petey's not a real one, of course. It'd be nice to have real ones. I just don't know why. I think it's been so dry that the frogs are just gone. I don't know how long it's going to take if the frogs are going to come back. It's going to have to take a lot of rain, and my guess is the frogs are going to have to migrate to get to this place. So there's going to have to be some migration. So basically, yeah, it's really sad that we don't have any frogs croaking anymore to make a very happy little song. You know, it's nice to have them. They're really beautiful creatures. So it's very disappointing to see them all dry up like that. But hopefully nature will prevail and they'll come back to this area because they're very nice. It's a lovely sound in the evening and early in the evening and nights to hear the croaks. Feels like there's a bit of life left in the suburbs or the burbs instead of total annihilation due to urbanisation. These frogs, I'm not going to throw them in the bin, of course. I don't believe in disposing of this properly, especially the irony of it being a model of nature. So basically, yeah, we're just going to overlap it. But basically, yeah, it's just reminded me of these creatures. Just this silly little plastic model just reminded me of what's been missing in the neighbourhood, and that's what it was, the croaking of the frogs. So therefore, no croak equals no fucking frogs. So yeah, it's like that. It's just so sad, but whatever. It just happens, you know. I'm just hoping they'll come back. So how big are we going to make this on the horizontal? 120. And the vertical, I think, will be... We're going 106. But yeah, it's just a wonder where they've gone. You know, they're no longer showing their cute little faces. I haven't actually seen the frogs. Like, you know, you don't normally actually see them, but basically you hear them. You basically hear them and they're there, but they're no longer there. So, yeah, you know, it's bad enough that you can't see them. Well, they just hide. They're good at hiding, but basically not hearing them is not a good sign. I don't know whether it's fairly natural for the environment to do that. I've had droughts before, but this one seems quite bad. This one's almost as bad as the drought we had. I remember it was still happening in 2008. And Warragamba Dam, the main catchment area for Sydney, was not receiving hardly any rain. Now that looks interesting, and yeah, that looks quite nice actually. So yeah, Warragamba hasn't been receiving much in the way of rain, so it's not good for us humans to have to deal with drought. It's not good for us either, you know, we need water too, so as well as the frogs. And I'm hoping that the desalination plant will be ready if Warragamba drops to critical levels, and they've mentioned they're going to get it out, I think in October or maybe, I don't know, October or somewhere near the end of this year if it's going to, well, I don't know how long, but it was mentioned on the news that the desal plant might be brought online to deal with this drought. It's never been used before, and I think I heard that it needs maintenance, which is not good because it'll delay putting it online. It'll have to be, if it has to be repaired, it's gonna need to be repaired before we can run it. So I'm hoping they can get that thing going in time. If there's no rain, if the dam drops to a certain level, I'm not sure what exact level it is, but I know that it's at fairly low levels from what I heard. And the rain that we had is just not enough. It's still not enough. So And apparently in my mother's street, neighbours actually often wash their cars, or have done. I think they just stopped recently washing their cars, but sometimes these rich people can be really wasteful. And yeah, my mum told me that some of the neighbours at one stage were still washing their cars, which is a really bad use for water when it's critically low. It's just not right. Why bother with a car? It's more important that you fucking drink, flush the toilet, and toilets should not be flushed with fresh drinking water like we have now. It's really bad. And I was even thinking about this in 2008. I was thinking, why are we flushing clean water in our toilets? Can't we flush grey water? I wasn't actually thinking the word grey water, but something along those lines. But we're still, the rich people are so backward. They don't sponsor things that are good. They just sponsor themselves. So I don't know what philanthropist is going to come in and save us from these stupidities. I don't think there is a fucking philanthropist, to be quite honest. I think most of the rich people are a bunch of cunts who don't care about the planet, who don't care about other people except for themselves. But there's our lovely frog pattern. I think now we can call it quits.